Well, okay. Okay, so here's what happened. I kid you not, I created a video, an hour and a half long video, for this shot. Okay? So, okay, you know, that's fine. The thing is that I'm opening Blender right now, by the way. Drag this down here. 1, 2, 3. So I cut it into the show. There's the previous shot, and then boom. All I'm saying is, you know, I blabbed for an hour and a half while creating this video, but if I'm going to do the right thing, I have to confess that I don't think the shot is working. In fact, actually, to be accurate, this is the entire shot. I actually cut the first part out because I did some stuff with the plastic tool. And I'm just like, you know, it just looks like a bunch of chatter. So I don't know if my skill maybe is improving as an animator or something. I'm not sure. But what I do know is, like this sequence here was really quick and easy to do. Mexican standoff kind of thing. You can almost hear a guitar going ring with a tremolo, you know. Rattlesnake effect, right? And the animation here is somewhat on the choppy side for sure, but not in a bad way. I mean, it's sort of not completely inappropriate to what you'd expect from an anime. So here the animation's really choppy, and but it's kind of funny. I think it's, you know, oh, is kind of the idea here. So then what happens is Zen is kind of showing his stuff, and then he swings back, and when he swings back, he inadvertently nails Akari. So the problem is that I got through this whole shot, and I just really looked at it and said, I think this shot is harming the show more than it's helping. Feel free to disagree. Like that shot? Like that shot? Love that shot. Don't like that shot. And it's not opentoonz' fault, because this shot was done in opentoonz as well. But my sense is that something's not quite right from a storytelling standpoint. So let's think this through, folks. The important thing is that Zen, did I just say is? The important thing is that Zen has to haul back to take a swipe at this guy and inadvertently smack Akari with his elbow. And something about this shot doesn't quite work for me. What I'm inclined to think, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to map this in opentoonz, is I actually think that what should be going on here is we should be going from this. In fact, you know what? Let's draw that. Let's just go here, put in the pencil, and based on this shot right here, what you would have is you'd have Zen, okay? He's just done this, so this is his pose. We're looking at him from behind, by the way. Okay, so let's just keep this really simple, really broad. And of course, our ninja guy is here. Not quite sure what's about to happen, but in terms of his pose, remember, he's in this position. So he's at the ready. I'm going to actually take this, shrink this down a little bit. Yeah, right there. Okay. And so let's just, again, keep this really clean, really simple. Let's just draw what we know, which is we know his hands position. So let's just put that in there because we know we can connect the dots, right? Okay. Okay. Alright, so now Akari was here, but obviously she jumped over to there. Okay, so that's good. So what that tells us is that we've got a little bit of a framing issue here. Honestly, as I'm thinking about this from a problem-solving standpoint, I think what we really want to do is take this, take Zen, make him a little bigger, and in essence kind of create the feeling that we're looking down on the situation a little bit. So I'm going to grab this guy now, A key. I'm going to make him, I'm going to pull him back, because again, I'm thinking about storytelling. I'm thinking about framing here. Okay, if we go like this, let's say we make Zen a little bigger. Let's shorten our camera lens, if you will. Okay, so what would it really happen here is, then if we were going to do that, then Akari's roughly here. Okay, with her little ponytail. Okay, I'm going to go back to this shot as a reference. Boom. So now I'm going to foreshorten his leg a little bit so that we get the sense that we're looking down on this guy. And if we were looking down on this guy, then the window would be more like here. And what might actually be somewhat comical, I have to look back here at our story, and I know it's ridiculous, I don't know my own story, but I want to go back and look at where yes, I want to look at where Ninja 2 met his demise. So there's Ninja 2. Oh, and he is sitting right there at their feet. Okay, so if Ninja 2 was there, which we probably shouldn't have him in there, what you'd probably see is something like this, where you have his feet laying there. That's not quite right, but because I didn't get the foreshortening right. It's kind of cool. You can rotate it in 3D. It doesn't really, I mean, obviously the drawing is hopelessly distorted, but at least it gives you a sense of where things are. So yeah, it's just the question of whether having Mr. Ninja's feet laying in the scene would kind of add to the comedy of the situation, I suppose. I'm going to say no at this point. Okay, so I'm going to save this. So what if we went from this shot, okay, and then the original clunk is his right. That works out well. Okay, so now I'm going to hit Control Insert, so we have a key in there, because all I'm going to do at this point is just actually what I'll do is I'll go on 2s. Normally I tend to do well going on 2s. So my sense is what should happen is, and by the way, I'm going to say one more time, I think this is not quite exaggerated enough in terms of the distance between them. That's why I say a short camera lens would tend to stretch out the distance between your characters. I don't want to get him too far out of the rule of thirds, if you will. So with that, I'm going to say these two probably should be slightly more there. Okay, so and by the way, that was, well, that's kind of nice. I can just check. I like it better this way. I'm sorry, the other way. I'm going to delete this key because I actually like I like it being a little more compressed. Okay, so now the question becomes, what about Mr. Ninja. I think what would happen would be he would make a move that conveys his arrogance at this juncture. So I'm going to say erase this, B, open that up, erase that. And what I want to do is, since we're sort of capitalizing on the foreshortened view, I want to make his hand fairly big right here. So, okay, I'm going to add a third key. And in this one, I'm going to put his other hand here. So, we've got this. Just delete that. Okay. Okay. So, yeah. I'm just gonna, just so it doesn't drive me nuts, I'm gonna take this shot, and for some reason, Blender does not want to let me move it. Okay, there we go. I just want to move it downstream. Boom, boom, boom. And then what I think would happen is Akari would move. And I'm going to go ahead and put in several keys here. And we're just doing this the traditional way. Just to sort of get, okay, something's acting strange here. There we go. I'm going to actually really stretch this out. I'm trying to really make it look like she's pulling back. Okay, and then you want to hold that. It's important. This is one thing I always found with filmmaking, with comedy especially, is you've got to have the hold. You've got to go whoom, whoom, right? You need those holds in there. And so now what's going to happen, I'll go ahead and do an animated shift first, and I'm going to give Zen 2 keys for that. So he's got to shift his weight like that. All right, and the reason he's got to shift his weight is so that he can kind of go like this. Okay, I have to do this in reverse because the webcam reverses everything. He's got to kind of go like this so that he can turn his whole body weight, so that when that hand goes back, boom, it's going to biff Akari right in the face. And that's why she's got to get in position too, which makes perfect sense because she's, frankly, actually, as long as we're here, I will say that also I'm going to put an indication of her hand right here on Zen. Okay, and I'm going to stick with the B key. Okay, so this is how we do this. We add a layer. We go here. We grab this. We cut it. Actually, I guess we didn't technically need to create the layer because we just created one automatically by doing that. But what that does, and that frame needs to be removed. So now that creates a static shot like there. And honestly, I would say right there, we just get rid of it. And now we can marry those two together. Okay. And hold on. You see that really big tall guy there in the background? That guy? my handsome son, apparently he has a question. So I need to find out what the question is. What's the question?
I called a guy and he was really interested. He basically said he wants it. He was wondering, he's wondering if there's other packages that are less than $600 a month.
We can get back with him on that.
He said to attach it in the email for Thursday.
Okay, then you need to put a note for me so I can look at that situation. Yeah, do something so that it's not going to get dropped through the cracks. That's the main thing. Yes, my handsome son Kyle is doing sales calls for commercial media services that have absolutely nothing to do with this anime. And doing a great job, by the way. Okay, so I'm going to put in this indication of her hand. Sort of her open hand, you might say. Okay, that's unnecessary motion, so I'm going to say there. Yep, it's I'm just really getting sensitive to when I'm putting in too much motion, which is good. I just have a proclivity to move these guys around too much. So she locks into position. Now Zen can do this. Okay, so now obviously all through this sequence his arms are down like this from that previous pose he did, right? So I'll go ahead and put in this indication here. That's kind of what I'm seeing. So, very foreshortened arm. And the arm has to come up here. And I actually think it should be pointing out at the guy like that. The only complaint I would say would be that this doesn't seem quite right in terms of how his weight would have to shift if he was gonna haul off like that. Actually, it would pivot forward. It would pivot forward again. Okay, that's okay. We're gonna have to have a static, you know, picture of Mr. Ninja's foot. I know this is gonna chatter like crazy. That's okay. Okay, so let's now get rid of this. We'll do 2 shots. Okay, so we'll do this and this. This is going to be the tween, so this is going to be the final position. So let's go ahead and just go into eraser mode here. I really want to just erase Zen so I'm not distracted by the previous drawing. And then we'll go in and sketch his final position here. So if he's going to go from this to this, his whole body has to pivot around. Okay. So I'm thinking, I'm just going to draw this as a stick figure. If he's going to end up here, I'm going to turn onion skins on actually. I usually don't favor onion skins too much, but for this, it might be useful. Okay, and then if we take this shot here and turn the onion skins back off. Okay, so this shot's really got to be amended as well. This shot, this pose, I guess I should say. Boom. Honestly, I think this pose actually belongs in the prior frame. So it's not exactly easy to do. I'm going to go Control X, go back to this frame, and I don't know if it's going to let me paste it in. Control V, it doesn't, darn it. And you always have to do it the goofy way. So, and now I have to paste that back in. So what I have to do here is take this, and it's a little clunky. It's a little clunky, folks. I want to add an existing layer to the timeline. So I can take this frame and move it here. Take this frame. I mean, I guess Zen doesn't move, so I guess that's probably okay. So there we go. So that frame or that layer can be removed. And what we're looking for here is essentially this. Okay, okay, so here I just want to sort of copy what I did here. I want to have this chaotic thing going on that then settles into this next frame where her, you know, it looks like her. Okay, so E, blah, 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 blah. Back to the pencil, and just get the positioning right. Okay. And of course, we're still going to keep the cartoonish rendering of our girl. It's because it is a somewhat comedic, although altogether unpleasant for Akari, event. Okay. So now let's just look at what we did here. I seem to remember. Yeah, I mean, so really here he needs to turn back from Akari to the other guy. Okay. So save early, save often, right? Where did our other drawing go? How did we not do that? Okay, I'm a little confused. Wait, there it is. Oh, it's because we have to do the preview thing. Right. Okay. So now what you probably would do here is this is where we're going to start to expand this into more of a proper animatic that's really showing everything that's going to happen, because what we should do, actually let's hit undo there a little bit, and let's just rotate her slightly and move her slightly. Okay, because all we're trying to do is get this, so we can duplicate that. Let's do it 3 times. So now we're getting into real time. So I'm thinking this guy should be on 4s. And actually, let's put the first one on 4s. Okay, that's not bad. Let's try 3 on that last one. Yes. Okay, and then this should just be moved way downstream. We got to give it a moment to breathe. Okay. So here she moves over. And then he starts moving. So again, let's give this baby time to breathe. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Okay. I'm not sure here, but my sense is that maybe if it's on 3s, it's going to play a little better, at least until we get to this part where she really gets biffed. And then that needs to be a bunch of repeating frames. So let's see. Okay, close but no cigar. What we've got to do is go from this. Just, again, jumping forward. I'm trying to... I mean, you can't keep it all in even frames, obviously, since you're on 3s, but... Okay, not bad. Okay, the only thing being, this should not be on 3s. This should be on 2s. This happens really fast. So I think... Oh. Okay. You like those sound effects? Oh. Okay. So I think I'm just going to play with this a bit. I think what should happen here is we'll go like this, and we'll kind of do what we were doing in the other one. Let's just play with this. I really want to stretch this out because I mean, she needs to fall slowly. So save early, save often. Okay, not bad, not bad, not bad. Not like amazing, but not bad. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and adjust my animation. This baby's going to have to be, I'm just going to kick it way up to 160. Alright, let's just keep following this through. Remember, when we go ahead and do the final animation, we can add a little bit of interest to some of these poses. So I just want to make sure this is happening over a long enough period of time. I mean, I suppose I probably should have mapped this out. I'm not sure what all this overlap outside of the drawing area is, but that's okay. Okay, save. Okay. I think I should just keep this going until she's gone. Whoops. Sorry. I'm going to keep this going until she's gone. My pacing seems to be pretty decent. So let's just keep this going. And then what I'm going to do is on another layer, I'm going to come back and show Zen reacting to this. One more frame and I think we're good. So I don't know what that black is. I mean, I can see what it is because it's just the lines from the frame duplicating over all that, all over all those keys. But why it's there, I really don't know. So might be a bug. Okay, and so as I said, what I'm going to do now is right about here, I'm going to have Zen look back. So easiest way to do that would be, let's kind of put this, turn the opacity of this layer down. Let's hit Control Insert, and then I said Control Insert, you. Okay. And then we'll kind of pick up with Zen here. Okay. So we'll go here and insert. Bring this weight down a little bit. Okay, so I want to indicate his ear. Insert. I'm just going to keep, I'm actually going to turn this way down so that I'm not being distracted by the static image of Zen that's in all those frames, obviously. Darn it. That's annoying. Put it on the wrong frame. There. Okay. I don't really know how I want to draw this, so I'm just gonna try to get the structure of his head correct, and I would say one more key should do the trick. Okay, and that key's gonna be pretty close to the same for his arm position. Right. So this could be quite worthy of criticism. Okay, save early, save often. Let's go back to the tippy top and see how the timing's playing out. Okay. Stop there. It's been a half an hour. We'll come back and we'll tighten up the drawings and get the ink later, but that expression, what just happened, was exactly what I was after. It makes me laugh every time, so I know it's gonna be good. So let's stop there, and trust me, as I always say, folks,